Imagine holding a piece of pocket change in your hand, running your thumb over its smooth, worn-down edges, and realizing that this single, ordinary-looking quarter is actually worth thousands of dollars. It sounds like a treasure hunter's fantasy, but in the world of modern numismatics, these hidden treasures are entirely real. Today, we are deep diving into two of the most misunderstood, highly sought after, and intensely debated coins in the entire United States statehood quarters series, the Virginia 1788 quarter minted in 2000 and the New Mexico 1912 quarter minted in 2008. We aren't looking at pristine, flawless, untouched coins that have been locked away in a bank vault for decades. Instead, we are focusing heavily on real, circulated, fine-condition coins, the exact types of coins that have traveled through vending machines, cash registers, and down into the deep cushions of your couch. If you have ever spotted one of these with that famous P Mint mark for the Philadelphia Mint and wondered what it could actually fetch in today's live auction market, you are in the right place. To truly understand why these two specific coins drive collectors crazy at auction, we first need to break down the dates stamped on them, because this is where the biggest point of confusion begins for casual pocket change hunters. When you look at the reverse side of the Virginia quarter, you will see the bold date 1788 stamped directly under the state name. When you look at the New Mexico quarter, you will see the date 1912. Thousands of people find these coins every day and instantly assume they have discovered an antique coin from the 18th or early 20th century. But these are actually modern circulating commemorative quarters. The United States Mint launched the 50 State Quarters program in 1999, releasing 5 distinct state designs each year in the exact order that the states ratified the Constitution or were admitted into the Union. The year 1788 represents the monumental historical year that Virginia officially ratified the U.S. Constitution, becoming the 10th state in the Union. The coin itself was actually struck and released into public circulation in the year 2000. Similarly, the year 1912 on the New Mexico quarter commemorates the year New Mexico was proudly admitted as the 47th state. The United States Mint didn't actually strike and release this coin until the year 2008. Knowing this distinction is your very first step to becoming a true coin expert. Before we look at the specific auction prices for these era varieties, we must understand what circulated fine condition actually means under official numismatic grading standards. When a coin is graded as fine, often abbreviated as F12 or F15 by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, it means the coin has seen considerable, active use in daily commerce. It is a coin that has lived a real life. The original, brilliant mint luster is completely gone, replaced by a dull, classic gray or copper nickel sheen. On a fine-condition Washington quarter, the major design features are still clearly visible, but they show uniform, moderate to deep wear. George Washington's hair lines on the obverse side will look smoothed out, his ear will be flat, and the sharp details of his facial features will be softened. On the reverse side of the Virginia quarter, the intricate sails of the 3 historic ships, the Susan Constant, the Godspeed, and the Discovery, will show clear wear, with the fine lines of the rigging and hulls blending together. On the New Mexico quarter, the iconic Zia sun symbol and the topographical details of the state outline will have lost their sharp, crisp edges. Yet, despite all this heavy surface wear, the critical details, like the P Mint mark, the full inscriptions, and the core era features, must remain entirely readable and identifiable. The most valuable 2000p Virginia quarter errors commanding major attention in today's auction market are structural anomalies that happened right at the moment of striking. One of the most famous and fiercely contested varieties is the double die obverse error, commonly known as a DDO. This occurs when the coin die itself receives a misaligned secondary impression during its manufacturing process, which is then transferred onto every single blank coin it strikes. On a true 2000p Virginia DDO, you will see distinct, clear doubling on the front of the coin, particularly on the letters of the words Liberty and In God We Trust, as well as a noticeable thickness on the numbers of the year 2000. When a coin hunter pulls one of these out of change in a worn-down, circulated fine condition, the doubling is still visibly apparent under a magnifying glass or a digital microscope. In recent coin auctions, verified circulated fine examples of the 2000p Virginia quarter featuring confirmed major doubling have fiercely hammered down anywhere from $50 to well over $200, depending entirely on the visible intensity of the doubling and how clean the remaining surfaces are. But the value climb doesn't stop there for the Virginia quarter. Another incredibly lucrative error category to watch for is the struck-through error. This happens when an uninvited foreign object, such as a stray piece of cloth, a shard of metal, or thick, packed grease, accidentally falls between the coin die and the blank copper nickel planchet during production. The immense pressure of the coin press rams the foreign object directly into the metal surface, leaving a permanent indent or causing massive sections of the design to be completely missing. One heavily discussed sub-variety of this is the filled die error on the date. Collectors have found rare examples where grease filled the recessed numbers of the year 1788 or 2000 on the coin die, resulting in quarters that entered circulation missing an entire digit or showing a completely smooth area where history tells us a number should be. If you discover a 2000p Virginia quarter in circulated fine condition where a major, dramatic design element or text field is completely omitted due to a verified struck-through grease error, you are looking at a coin that can easily fetch between $30 and $80 at a specialized error auction. Even more dramatic are the structural errors, such as clipped planchets and off-center strikes. A clipped planchet error occurs way back at the very beginning of the manufacturing process, when the heavy metal feeding machines improperly align the long sheets of copper-nickel strip. The blanking press accidentally punches out a coin circle that overlaps a previously punched hole, leaving the coin with a clean, crescent-shaped bite missing from its edge. If that clipped coin then passes through the minting press, receives its standard 2000p Virginia design, and escapes into the public circulation pool, it becomes a major target for numismatists. A 2000p Virginia quarter in a true circulated fine grade with a highly visible, significant curved clip can regularly command between $40 and well over $100 in competitive online auction formats. If the error is an off-center strike, meaning the coin blank was only partially sitting inside the coining chamber when the heavy die slammed down, resulting in a coin that only displays 10% to 50% of the Virginia design while leaving the rest of the coin a blank, smooth crescent, the values scale exponentially. Even in a heavily circulated, worn-down fine condition, a highly dramatic off-center 2000p Virginia quarter is an incredibly rare find that can easily command $200 to $500 when enthusiastic error collectors start bidding against each other. Now, let's shift our focus entirely over to the fascinating, enigmatic 2008p New Mexico State quarter. Because this coin was minted 8 years after the Virginia quarter, the United States Mint had implemented tighter automated quality control systems, making major structural errors from the 2008 production runs even scarcer and significantly more valuable to find out in the wild today. The New Mexico reverse design features the stark, elegant outline of the state topography, embedded with the ancient Zia sun symbol. This specific design layout created a unique vulnerability for the coin dies. One of the most prominent, heavily hunted errors on the 2008p New Mexico quarter is the die crack or die crazing error. Under the intense, continuous mechanical stress of striking millions of coins, the hard steel dies begin to fatigue, develop microscopic structural fractures, and eventually crack open. When a blank coin planchet is forced into a cracked die, the soft metal flows up into the open fracture, creating a raised, irregular line of jagged metal on the finished coin. On the 2008p New Mexico quarter, look incredibly closely at the 4 points of the Zia sun symbol and along the sharp borders of the state outline. Collectors aggressively hunt for a specific, verified die crack progression variety known natively to the community as the extra cactus or spurred Zia error. This manifests as a distinct, raised line of metal shooting out from the design elements, making it appear as though an extra design feature is growing right off the coin. When found in a standard circulated fine grade, where the surrounding fields are heavily worn but the raised error line remains distinct and unbroken, these die crack varieties consistently command strong premiums. Collectors on major auction platforms regularly trade these circulating New Mexico errors for $25 to $75. If the die break is severe enough to cause a cud error, which happens when a massive chunk of the die breaks entirely off the edge, leaving a smooth, raised, featureless blob of metal along the rim of the quarter, the auction value instantly jumps into the $150 to $300 range, even for a coin showing heavy evidence of circulation pocket wear. The holy grail of modern state quarter errors, which applies directly to both the 2000p Virginia and the 2008p New Mexico quarters, is the spectacular and legendary mule error or an inverted clad layer error. A mule error occurs when a mint worker accidentally pairs an obverse coin die from one denomination or series with a reverse coin die from an entirely different series. While the most famous mule error involved a Washington quarter obverse paired with a Sacagawea dollar reverse, numismatists are constantly analyzing state quarters for any subtle, catastrophic die mix-ups. More commonly found in circulation are missing clad layer errors. United States quarters are structured as a sandwich, a pure copper core bonded between two outer layers of a bright copper-nickel blend. Occasionally, an entire outer nickel layer fails to bond during the sheet manufacturing process before the blanks are cut. When the coin is struck, one side displays the standard, silvery copper nickel design, while the reverse side is composed of a rich, deep, completely raw red copper surface. If you ever find a 2000p Virginia quarter or a 2008p New Mexico quarter where the obverse looks normal, but the reverse side is fully red copper and weighs significantly less than the standard 5.67 grams, you have found a massive numismatic rarity. Even if that coin spent months or years circulating through wallets, dropping its grade down to a modest fine condition with surface scratches and a darkened copper patina, the sheer, undeniable structural rarity of a missing clad layer error commands massive respect in the auction world. Verified, certified examples of circulated state quarters missing a full clad layer consistently spark intense bidding wars at major auction houses, routinely hammering down for $400 to over $1,000. To successfully hunt for these valuable coins and protect yourself from being fooled by clever fakes or common post-mint damage, you must adopt the exact methodology used by professional numismatists. The absolute first tool you need to deploy is a high-precision digital pocket scale capable of measuring down to 2 decimal places in grams. A standard, legal U.S. quarter must weigh exactly 5.67 grams. If you find a coin that feels unusually thin or looks strange, weigh it immediately. A quarter with a genuine missing clad layer error will typically weigh significantly less, usually landing somewhere around 4.7 to 4.9 grams, because it is literally missing an entire outer layer of metal. Conversely, if someone simply took a normal quarter and dipped it in an acid bath or subjected it to harsh chemical wear after it left the mint, the entire coin will show uniform, unnatural thinning, the details will look acid-etched and fuzzy, and the weight will be low across the entire surface. Acid damage is post-mint damage, and it renders a coin completely worthless to a serious collector. A genuine mint error will maintain crisp, sharp details within its sunken fields, and its edge reading will show specific, authentic characteristics that acid can never replicate. Your second critical tool is a high-quality 10x or 30x jeweler's loupe, or a modern USB digital coin microscope connected directly to your computer screen. When analyzing a worn, circulated fine 2000p Virginia or 2008p New Mexico quarter, you cannot rely on the naked eye to spot valuable die varieties. You need magnification to look closely inside the enclosed loops of the letters and numbers. On a genuine double die error, you are looking for clear structural step-downs, notches in the corners of the letter serifs, and an undeniable widening of the font styles. You must learn to distinguish this from machine doubling or mechanical doubling. Machine doubling is not a mint variety and carries zero premium. It happens when the heavy minting press has a loose part, causing the coin die to vibrate or slip slightly sideways the exact millisecond after it strikes the coin. This creates a flat, shelf-like, scraped appearance on one side of the letters, effectively shaving the metal down. True die doubling, which is the valuable error, creates two distinct, rounded, raised design images on the coin die itself, which means both images will look fully formed and raised on your quarter. The live auction market for these modern errors is incredibly dynamic, constantly shifting based on collector demand, public awareness, and the number of new discoveries being certified each year. Major numismatic auction portals, such as Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, and Stax Bowers, along with specialized error groups on eBay, show a highly active, passionate community of buyers who are aggressively building complete collections of modern state quarter varieties. Collectors love circulated error coins because they represent a tangible piece of history that survived the wild open economy. A fine-grade error coin tells a story of survival. It sat in pockets, paid for groceries, passed through automated counters, and yet its unique, rare identity remained intact until an eagle-eyed collector finally noticed it. If you believe you have discovered a genuine, rare error version of a 2000p Virginia or 2008p New Mexico quarter in your spare change, your next steps are critical to maximizing its real dollar value. The absolute number one rule of coin collecting, a rule that can never be broken, is to never, under any circumstances, clean your coin. Do not wipe it with a cloth, do not scrub it with a toothbrush, and do not use metal polish or chemicals to try to make it look shiny. To a professional coin grader or an experienced auction bidder, a cleaned coin is permanently ruined. Cleaning creates microscopic, unnatural hairline scratches across the metal surface, strips away the authentic, historic patina, and instantly slashes the market value of an error coin by 50% or more. Collectors want to see the coin exactly as it was found, with all its natural, honest circulation wear. Instead of cleaning it, place the coin immediately into a protective, archival safe cardboard coin flip or a clear, PVC-free plastic coin capsule. This stops your fingers from transferring natural oils onto the metal and prevents any further scratches or rim dings that could lower its final grade. Once the coin is safely protected, consider sharing high-resolution, clear, well-lit photos of both the obverse and reverse sides in reputable, established online numismatic forums or taking it to a trusted, local coin shop that specializes in error coins. If the consensus among experts is that you have found a major, genuine mint error, the ultimate way to unlock its full auction potential is to submit the coin to a premier third-party professional grading service, such as PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. When you submit a coin for professional certification, world-class numismatic experts will inspect the piece under intense magnification, verify its weight, confirm its authenticity, officially identify the specific mint error variety, and assign it a definitive grade, such as Fine 12 or Fine 15. The coin is then securely sealed inside a sonically welded, tamper-proof clear plastic holder with a certified barcode label tracking its pedigree. Having a coin officially encapsulated by PCGS or NGC completely eliminates any doubt or skepticism from potential buyers. When a collector sees a certified, slabbed error coin up for bidding in today's digital auction market, they can bid with absolute, 100% confidence, knowing the error is entirely real. This confidence is exactly what drives bidding wars, causing prices to smash through estimates. The incredible world of the 2000p Virginia 1788 quarter and the 2008p New Mexico 1912 quarter proves that numismatic treasure hunting isn't just about digging through ancient ruins or buying expensive gold bullion. True wealth can be hidden right on the surface of our everyday, modern economy, masked as a common 25-cent piece. It requires patience, an educated eye, the right diagnostic tools, and a deep passion for the tiny details that separate a common coin from a multi-$100 auction masterpiece. So, start checking your change jars, look closer at the coins you receive at the drive-thru, examine every single P mint mark, and never take a standard quarter for granted again. You might just be holding the next major auction market sensation right in the palm of your hand.